want to bring up the next topic, and that is what Eddie and Tammy were mentioning in our pre-show. So, Eddie, what's going on over in Iraq this week?
Ooh, I'm going to yield to my beloved. This was her. She really wanted this, and very good that she did.
Well, we'd heard that the Pope is going to be having a meeting, and it's going to be on Friday, this coming Friday, the 5th of March. And it is only for all different sects of Christianity and Islam. None of the rabbis, nobody from Judaism was invited.
No Jew was invited.
The purpose of that I'm not quite clear on, but it's very interesting that this meeting is happening exactly 1,260 days since the sign in the heavens on September 23rd of 2017.
Yes.
Exactly 1,260 days.
And we are going to have, it is also the time that Apophis is going to be making a flyby. It's not supposed to be a close flyby, but
it's supposed to be visible in the sky at that time, though.
And so, oh boy, it's going to be, the timing is incredible. We don't know what the Pope is going to do there. We might have the manifestation of fire from heaven. Who knows? Because of who he is and what he represents and where he's leading the flock, so to speak.
Plus, we also have an incoming CME this week.
Right.
And I don't know exactly what day that it's supposed to impact, but it's very interesting.
Which is heating up and making the vulcanization problem
even worse.
Even worse. And we don't need it to be worse.
Which, when you think about it, the Pope also, one reason they want to get to a meeting, which is a thought, is they need the what's it called? The Vatican's got to be moved, and they want to move it to Jerusalem, but they've got to because Italy, as you speak of volcanism, may not be there anymore. So they've got to get out of Dodge.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Yep. Italy is the largest caldera on the whole planet.
Yeah.
So if y'all haven't been keeping up, those that are listening, about what's happening in Italy, Mount Etna has erupted several times, but they're having huge problems. There's steam fissures opening up. They're having problems with their underground infrastructure, with heating up, and because the magma is rising to the surface under Italy, and they've been watching this for a long time. Italy may be no more. There may be a major evacuation of refugees from Italy because of what's happening there. And that's why we're saying the Vatican may not have a place to be anymore. So they need a new place. The Vatican's probably looking for a new home. But
they've always wanted to relocate to Jerusalem.
They have. And then the next thing is going back to this thing that's happening in Iraq. It's at Ziggurat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Ziggurat is where what is considered a portal, where there's interdimensional transactions that take place, shall we say. And so what the concern is that they're going to bring all this stuff together. It's at a portal. It's at this place that spiritually dimension. This is what they believe, that they're going to have an interaction to open up things between dimensions. I think probably like never before, and that's what they want. But I think one other thing is it's in an area that they call influential lands. And I heard one report saying, expect geological changes to happen.
Wow.
And, when this thing's happen. So I don't know. We're going to watch. We're going to see what's going to take place. But I think you should mark your calendar, as this could be a point that could bring more into our, into our world, we might see more take place in the spiritual dimensions, things that we don't really want to see. And it's also, and here's the other thing, and what the Pope is advocating is it's to elevate the deities of the world, or de-elevate the deities to they're all on the same level, including Yeshua, who is simply going to be assigned a position of a prophet. And And I believe, as I understand, they already have materials written for this new world religion. And they have the materials. It has its own Bible, and it's a blending of the biblical scriptures, the Quran, and other stuff. And they're ready to go with it.
We may see the manifestation of the Nephilim in this one.
And the two witnesses.
Well, now that's going to be part of the Torah study. We're going to get into that really good.
Yeah.
And the timing is absolutely off the chart.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
because
for it to be exactly 1,260 days since that sign in the heavens in 2017 is just
That's amazing.
and March, depending upon calendar systems, is historically the month of Aviv, the Gregorian. Normally, the month of Aviv will fall somewhere during the month. Now, I think it's February on the Jewish calendar. They've already had
No.
no,
it's
not
the
yet.
17th. So it's got,
Oh, it's the 17th, right? So
got 13
that's
more days.
very important to note that this being the month of Aviv, why is that so important? Well, as she said, from September the 23rd till March 5th is precisely 1,260 days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, God's calendar goes Aviv 1 to Aviv 1, right? Well, Aviv 1 of 2018 started a new countdown. And so what this Aviv 1 will bring in 2021 will be the beginning of the 4th year. Okay, we're coming up to the end of the 3rd year from the two great signs, and I say two. How many of you know there were two of 2017? And 2017 was a historic year beyond words, because that's when Trump moved the capital to Jerusalem, Baruch Hashem. It was the manifestation of the two signs. We had of course, the one where the woman was clothed with a crown of 12 stars. The sun was in her shoulder and the moon at her feet. That was the September 23rd sign. Well, 2 weeks earlier, there was another huge sign that dealt directly with Micah 5:3, and that was the birthing of Jupiter, which had been in the womb of Virgo for 9.25 months, for virtually the entire year of 2017. And never had that ever happened before. Jupiter had been in the womb of Virgo up for 7 months. And when they go back computer-wise, they've shown that Jupiter had retrograded and remained in the womb of Virgo for 7 months, but never, not ever before, and won't happen in the many distant thousands of years future, will that event happen again, where Jupiter will remain or remained in the womb of Virgo for 9.25 months. Why is this important? Well, you go back, we'll go make 3 verses real quick. Genesis 38:1, and Judah departed from his brothers. Nowhere in the Torah does it say that Judah returned to his brothers. Then we go to Habakkuk, Moshe. What does Moshe have to say about this? Whoa. He says, "Hear, O Yod-Heh Vav-Heh, the voice of Judah, and return the remnant of his brothers to his remnant of Judah to his brothers." Moses understood there was coming a time when Judah would be returned to his brothers, and he prayed for that and prophesied that in Habakkuk. Thing of it is, Habakkuk happens during the intermediary Shabbat of Sukkot, and there are other pressing readings that does not bring this incredible blessing or prayer of Moses out. So Moses is praying for the return of Judah. Well, when is this supposed to happen? Well, as I told my most closest and dearest friend, my Jewish brother, I told him, it says, the most incredible thing I'm going to tell you today is that Micah 5:3 follows Micah 5:2. And him and his wife just busted out laughing. Well, why was that so important? because Micah 5:2 was the verse that the Magi, well, actually not the Magi, but the scribes and Pharisees, when Herod called them in after being, told by the Magi, hey, guess who's here? He says, well, where is he supposed to be born? And they said, well, Micah 5:2, O Bethlehem Ephratah, though he is little among Judah, out of you shall he come forth to me, who shall be ruler in Israel. And then Micah 5:3 continues, and it is the timing of the restoration of the house of Judah with his brothers, and it wouldn't happen before this point. It says, and he, referring to the Messiah of Micah 5:2, shall give them up, the them is the house of Judah, until she which is in travail hath brought forth. Then he will return the remnant of Judah to his brothers. That's the timing. So up until this celestial event that occurred in 2017, ladies and gentlemen, there could not have been the restoration of Judah with his brothers. And as is the case in everything that happens in the Bible, you're going to have a delay. Did this happen in 2017? No. We're coming up on the third year. Actually the fourth year. Yeah. We're coming to the end of the third year since this great event happened. And I'm going to wait until the Torah portion to explain why that is so really profound. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I'll look at that. Now, 5:3 is the timing verse for the restoration of and it's important to hear those words. It just makes my hair stand up. The remnant of Judah, meaning there's going to be there's going to be a lot of people that don't make it. I think that's the 2/3 reference in Zechariah, where he says 2/3 are going to be destroyed and 1/3 are going to be brought through the fire. And that remnant that Micah 5:3 is talking about is that 1/3.
Wow. Interesting. Makes me put some pieces together of what we prayed about on the war room this morning for Israel. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for bringing that out. And
we are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.